In today's video, I'll be playing a full grand challenge going all the way from 0 to 12 wins using the best Royal Giant deck in the game right now. Let's get in the first match. Try to get to 12 here. So we're against OD right now for our first game. So the Giant Skeleton and Archer Queen, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know, got buffed in the last balance change. And if you guys remember, Giant Skeleton RG used to be an amazing combo about a year ago, and it is back again with the pretty big health buff that the Giant Skeleton got. And then the Archer Queen has just always paired pretty well with the Royal Giant as well. So RG definitely going to be kind of back in this meta. So this guy went for a nice little kite with the Ice Golem, and then he went E-Barbs. Okay, so he's got some sort of Bridge Spam deck. We're going to pop the Queen ability. Oh, it's kind of Bridge Spam and Bait together. That's very interesting. I don't know. Is he going to have something? Okay, he goes Ice Spirit last second. So he's got E-Spirit and Ice Spirit. Very interesting. Okay, wow. I'm going to go RG here because we're going to have the Queen ability available to use again. This guy's just kind of spamming Elixir like crazy. Kind of the exact type of deck and playstyle you would expect in just game one of a challenge. Let's put it that way. So, also, if you don't have the RG evolved, you definitely could either on ladder use this deck just the regular RG. It would still be pretty decent, I would say. And even if you don't have it, you can still play this deck inside of Grand Challenges, Classic Challenges, and Royal Tournaments where all the evolutions are available to be used. So just keep that in mind. And this guy's got the Evolved Ice Spirit. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like the Evolved Ice Spirit is pretty bad. I think it could probably either use another buff or I don't know. I just think it's pretty weak. So we're going to go Fisherman here to get the King Tower activated, and that's pretty much going to secure the win at this point. We have more damage in both lanes compared to the damage he's dealt on my tower, and we got a King activation on top of that. So I'm feeling fairly confident here for the first match, which is good because we don't want to lose game one. That's just pretty bad in a grand challenge because the later games are harder. So you really ideally, I want to say, ideally your goal should be the first few games, like 4 or 5. If your goal is to actually win the challenge, you probably want to be winning all of those to have a fairly high chance of winning. So there we go. There's the E-Barbs. I forgot he had those. His deck has just been absolutely wild. We're going to go E-Spirit here, and then we'll get a Giant Skeleton going. And yeah, this is pretty much going to be a wrap. I don't know if we could possibly actually get a 3-crown here. I don't think we can, but might as well go for it anyway because we got nothing to lose at this point. I don't even think he has the time to take one of our towers. So let's see. Can we get it with the Fireball? I think we're barely going to not have enough time. Yeah, it's all right. Well, a win's a win. Doesn't really matter anyway if we get the 3-crown or not. Just would have made it slightly cooler, I guess. But anyway, 11 more to go. Found our next one here against Croc Snow. So we got the Ghost, we got the Archer Queen. So even though this is a more expensive RG deck, I do typically like to make the first play. You can go for Ghost in the back, Giant Skeleton in the back first play, E-Spirit. You got a lot of first plays you can make. It's okay to wait a few seconds, but it's completely fine to go for the first play typically. And you could also use Log instead of Barbell if you want, but I really like having the Barbell. It makes the deck really defensive, and you already kind of have enough offense anyway with the, you know, the RG, and it's nice to have the Barbell with this variation because it's not an RG cycle deck where it's better to have Log because you have the Skeletons or Goblins often when you're running RG cycle, but because you have the Giant Skeleton, it kind of makes it more of a medium cost RG deck. So because the Giant Skeleton's so expensive, you're not always going to be able to get it down, which means it's really nice to have the Barbell, because it is kind of a mini tank. So when you don't have that Giant Skeleton cycle, you can afford some form of defense, which is really nice. That's kind of the idea behind having the Barbell, and the person who is running this deck high up on ladders using Barbell over Log. So it comes down to preference, though. If you want to use Log, you can. You know, I don't want to say, like, you're more than welcome to use it. I mean, that just sounds weird to say, but you can use it if you want, and it just kind of comes down to preference, so. Using an Inferno Drag, that was an interesting Inferno Drag. I mean, it is going to counter the Queen, technically, but he probably would have been better off just waiting to play that until the queen actually... I don't know, but then I can't use the queen ability. So I see the idea behind it, but it's just a bit of a strange way to defend the queen. It feels like it kind of just gave the queen more value in a way before she ended up dying. So I'll take it. This guy's got RG himself, but just a different variation. I don't know what he's going to do here. He's going to have a bit of trouble, though, I think. Yep. Skarmy's going to go down to those RG hits. We're going to Fireball to reset the Inferno Drag. It's just going to allow the RG to get way more damage before it ends up going down. And I'm just kind of liking this situation. Oh, wow, he's got a Graveyard. He's not even running RG. I just assumed it was RG because he has the Fisherman as well. Oh my gosh, if that freeze hit the E-Spirit, I would have been in a lot of trouble. I might have even lost my whole tower right there. Let me tell you guys, Graveyard is no joke. One Graveyard, you could lose your whole tower. It's pretty scary, I have to say. So we're going to RG here. We're going to get a Fireball going. It's going to hit some of that Skarmy as well. We might be able to get a shot in, maybe even two. We do get that second hit in. Fisherman connects. GG. Nice win there. Graveyard freeze. Alright, well, we're in our next one here against Loki, so I could go Giant Skeleton first play, or E-Spirit. I might wait a little bit for him. He's just going to go Little Prince, so we'll go Giant Skeleton, same lane now, that works. And he's going to go Mortar. So I'm going to go Archer Queen here, and then we're going to pop the ability when the Mortar shoots. Boom. And then if he doesn't go for the ability, that's just going to take out the Little Prince as well. Even with him going for the ability, it's still pretty much killed him, but... It's alright. I was thinking about maybe going Bar Barrel, but this Giant Skelly still is going to force a response out of him from the looks of it. So, yeah, he's going to go Defensive Miners. That's really solid stuff. We're going to go Ghost here and see what he has in response. He's not going to have the Defensive Miner anymore. Maybe he's got Guards or something, or Goblins. I guess we'll, excuse me. I guess we'll see. And he's going to go for the Mortar. Alright, I guess that works. Go RG on that. He's not going to have the Guards in cycle. I'm going to go Fisherman. I want to pull this Little Prince forward. Yeah, I do have to say, if my commentating isn't amazing this video, I am a little... I think I'm a little sick. I don't know. I don't know if I'm sick or if I have just allergies right now, but either way, I'm just a little congested and feel a little off, so hopefully my commentary is okay. I just wanted to, I guess, address that. So Queen coming in here, we could okay, he's just gonna log. I was gonna say, like, we could use the ability, but I mean, well, now we can't do that. So he did overcommit on the Queen, to be fair. We could actually just go Giant Skeleton in the back and then maybe get an RG going. This is actually kind of a challenging matchup. It's definitely winnable, but it is quite hard because stuff like the minions and the Mortar just get kind of an awful lot of value. It is quite tricky. I'm going to RG in the back here. There's no way I'd be able to break through playing it at the bridge, so I kind of identified that and just decided to, you know what, let's just set up from the back here. I'm going to Fireball both of those, and then we're going to go Bar Barrel clean up. That's pretty solid. And then let's see what he wants to do. He's going to log all that, go for a Mortar. What is he going to have for... Okay, so he goes... this is quite interesting. So he went Guards in the opposite lane. Let's actually get an RG going here. Hopefully he... Okay, nice. He goes Little Prince. We're going to get a Fireball going. Boom. RG is getting a lot of damage. Would have been nice if the Archer Queen was able to shoot the Little Prince. Sadly, it didn't. I don't know. It would have been... To be fair, that would have been a lot to ask for, so I guess I can't complain all that much, but it would have been nice nonetheless. We're going to go for our Evo RG here. Hopefully that Giant Skeleton can make its way up and go in front of the RG. That would be kind of a shame if the RG was in front. Luckily it did, and now with this, I feel like this is a pretty scary push for him to deal with. I think he might have overcommitted a bit with that Evo Mortar. And just like that, RG is on the tower. Fireball coming in. Bar Barrel might even kill the Little Prince. It does. And this is looking more and more like it is going to be GG. So, nice win over here. Because, like I said, I don't think this is an easy matchup. I don't think it's, like, really hard. But it's not easy just because, you know, if they play well. Like, if it's a good Mortar player, you're going to have a bit of trouble. Those Guards are getting a lot of value. The defensive Mortars and all that. But the way to win is going in for RGs in the back, which is something you are going to want to do when you're against stuff like Mortar or Cannon. stuff along those lines. It really just depends on the matchup, though, but not every RG you play should be at the bridge, especially when you're against a building. That's like a good general rule of thumb, because if you're against anyone that knows how to defend, it's just going to get stopped right in its tracks every time, and you're giving the building a lot of value. When they go for defensive mortar and you go RG in the back, what you're actually doing is allowing the mortar to lose a lot of its health, because it's only on the board for a set amount of time, you know, so you might as well take advantage of that and have some of its value go to complete waste. That's kind of the whole concept of playing it in the back. Like, if you're wondering why you do that, that's kind of the reason why, because you're allowing the building to just lose a lot of its value by just sitting on the map doing nothing. So this guy is running a Hog Bomb Tower deck, so this is again going to be a matchup where RGs in the back are going to be kind of the key to help you break through that bomb tower, which is just a pain. Okay, well, he screwed up defending that ghost, so that's going to help us. That's going to make our life a lot easier this match, already having this lead. I want to defend this hog as cheaply as I can. It kind of sucks I don't have my fisherman in cycle, but I'm not going to... I didn't want a giant skelly on that. I just felt like it would have been a bit of... I don't know. It just would have... Okay, that is really annoying, I have to say. Luckily, those skeletons he screwed up on, but that's really annoying that he just went in for that pressure like that. I don't know. It was annoying. But, alright, let's just go for an RG here. And then we're going to go Archer Queen. Let's see. Oh, wow, I don't know how I feel about that hog. I feel like that was a mistake. I just don't see how he's going to defend now. He's relying way too much on that Evo Firecracker, let me tell you, man. He's putting way too much faith in that thing. That's not going to completely deal with the Archer Queen and the Evo RG, let me tell you. So he's going for the Knight here, as well as the Hog. Let's just go for the Fisherman. Hopefully the E-Spirit does allow... no, that... Even if it weren't for the... Yeah, I mean... Even if I timed that better, I still think it would have been tower down. You know, I have to say, though, at this point, it's a massive advantage for us because we can go RG in the pocket. I mean, it's just a better situation when you're the RG player playing in a two-tower game than a Hog player. That's kind of the best way I can explain it. Of course, the Hog player can still win, but you're just going to be better off than them because it doesn't really benefit the Hog player at all. I mean, yeah, he can do what he just did, but that's generally not what you want to do with Hog. You generally want to play it there, not in the pocket. As opposed to RG, where when you're playing it in the pocket, that can be pretty threatening, I have to say, if they don't have their building in cycle. Which is why I just went for the Evo RG in the back, kind of with my hopes of being able to sort of out-cycle his building or just overwhelm him with two RGs, and then it's just kind of too much for him to handle. So we're going to go for a RG here, and I think this is going to be GG. That Hog was not the right time at all to do that. You don't really want to go for a Hog push when you are defending an RG push at the same time, and that really kind of proves that right there. So that's going to be a nice win against Hog Bomb Tower. I don't think that matchup is all that bad. I think, actually, if they have Little Prince instead of the Firecracker, it's probably a little harder because you're not going to be able to have the Fireball to take it out. You're going to have to also go for a Bar Barrel or have an E-Spear connect, whereas the Firecracker, even evolved, is just going to instantly die, which is really nice, of course. So he's going to go Wall Breakers first play, excuse me, and he's got the Bats. I believe they were evolved. So the Evo Bats, that's going to be pretty interesting. I mean, they are going to be quite valuable. I feel like any deck that doesn't have arrows, the Evo Bats give you a little bit of problem sometimes. Like, I might even have to Fireball them occasionally or just have the Archer Queen and E-Spirit readily available, but they are quite a nuisance, so we'll see how that goes. We're going to get this going here, and then we need a Bar Barrel as well, unfortunately. The nice thing we got going for us is that Giant Skelly Bomb is, of course, going to hit the Little Prince. Maybe I should have gone E-Spirit, like, predicting the... Ooh, that was really... I'm going to actually go RG here. Just because I feel like he doesn't really... Like, he kind of used all of his Elixir, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. He went for... Yeah, I mean, okay, so, yeah, that was, first of all, really bad Bomb Tower placement. When you're going for a bomb. When you're playing the bomb tower late on the RG, you have to play it right on top of the RG, so it pushes the RG off of the tower and gets redirected onto the bomb tower. When you're playing it like that, it's just not getting as much value as it otherwise could. But either way, he would have been kind of screwed, because even if he played the bomb tower normally, it would have already been a hassle for him, because I could have just fireballed the bomb tower and still gotten a lot of damage for the RG. But it would have at least... It would have kind of saved him. It would have put him in a lot better of a situation. Wow, that ghost hit came in clutch. I thought that wall breaker was going to end up connecting. Luckily, it didn't, though. So I think we're just going to go for the Evo RG in the back here. His Evo bats are out of cycles, so, I mean, at this point, things are just kind of pretty easy peasy, I want to say. I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but I really don't see how we're going to lose in this situation. Because at this point, we just need pretty much, what, 2 more fireballs, and then it's kind of a wrap. I don't know if we're going to be able to get an RG to the tower, but we might not even... Well, actually, this might get a shot, potentially. Nah, he logged, so that was good defense on his end, but we'll just go for a ghost here, and then go for an E-Spirit, and yeah, this should be fine. I don't think the fireball does enough, but like I said, we can just cycle 2. I'm just going to try to go for 1 more RG, though. Actually, the bomb tower's in fireball range, so there we go. That's going to give us a free fireball, and then, yeah, he's not even going to stop the RG. There we go. We get the 1 shot we needed, and that is going to be a nice win over there against minor wall breakers. I don't know what that matchup is. I actually don't think it's that easy, especially with the Evo bats, but because he kind of had that small slip up early on, that kind of allowed us to win the whole game, so it's kind of nice we were able to take advantage of that. And now at this point, we're just 1 win away from being at the halfway point, which is great, of course, so we're making really good progress here. So we got Ghost, we got Giant Skeleton. Let's see what he's going to do. Okay, he's going to go Little Prince, so we'll go for a Giant Skeleton here, same lane. That should work just fine, and let's see what he wants to do. He goes for the Skellies. We go Fisherman here. I don't know if he's going to use the Guardian. He does. That kind of, though, is going to go to complete waste, in my opinion. And I'm even going to... It's aggressive, but I'm actually going to go RG here, just because we have the Fisherman, the Giant Skeleton, and he kind of wasted, like, 6 Elixir in a way. So it just... I feel like it makes sense. It would be really nice if this E-Spirit can hit the little... Yeah, nice, it can. That's really good stuff over there. Amazing start. He goes for the cannon, but it was so late. The damage has already been done in a way. It's looking like this guy's probably using Royal Hog Cycle, because he has the cannon, the Little Prince, the delivery. So that would be my guess. It's Royal Hog Cycle. It's nice we are going to have the Fireball. Those Evo Skellies, though, are going to be kind of a problem sometimes. I will say that's the one thing about having the Bar Barrel. The Evo Skellies are just... Or if you don't have any, like, small spell for that matter, well, like Earthquake or Poison, the Evo Skellies or arrows can just be a hassle. We really got to be saving our Bar Barrel for that. So I'm going to try my very best to have my Bar Barrel. When he has the Evo Skellies in cycle, I'm not going to use my Bar Barrel on anything else. E-Spirit could be used as well. So if I get in a tricky situation where I need to use the Bar Barrel, I will have my E-Spirit, which potentially could, you know, it does alright against the Evo Skellies, I have to say. Alright, well, there we go. This is what I was talking about. Okay, nice, really nice placement and timing with that Bar Barrel. So luckily things didn't get too scary. That could have been very problematic if I ended up missing one, but that didn't end up happening, so that's really nice. I'm going to use the Archer Queen ability. We could always just probably use an ability again by the time she works her way up to the bridge, but he might just use a delivery anyway, to be fair, so I don't know. Like, either way, it's alright. Let's just go for an RG here, and yeah, he is going to use the delivery, but he actually played it too early, so it didn't even end up hitting the queen, so... Alright, well, Little Prince is going to take actually goes down there. Alright, well, that's pretty much game at this point now. He doesn't even have the Evo Skellies to save himself at this point, so we'll just go for another RG, and this should pretty much be over. He's going to have the Evo Skellies now, but I think even those are not going to... Yeah, especially because they just died instantly to the E-Spirit. So that's going to be GG. I don't know what that matchup is. I think it's one that could go either way, but because we had really good momentum the whole match. We were kind of able to maintain a good lead, and it never really got close, which is really nice. So here we go. At the halfway point now, 6-0. We're doing quite well. We'll just go for an E-Spirit and then a Ghost. That should defend that all right. And he's got a Princess. Okay, so he's probably running some sort of bait deck from the looks of things. Depending on what he... Okay, he's going to go for a Mega Knight. I wasn't expecting that. I was maybe expecting him to have, like, Recruits or something. I didn't think he was going to have a Mega Knight, though. So this is definitely a little bit of a off-meta bait deck, that's for sure. So we'll see how we want to play against this. And it also largely depends, too, on what the rest of his support cards are. And actually, I don't even know if he... It's very possible he might not even have... like a Goblin Barrel. I just don't really know what his deck is, to be fair. And I'm not going to lie, that Archer Queen that he played got way too much value for my liking. That, you know, it got way too much value. We'll just leave it at that. I thought the Archer Queen was actually going to die to my Archer Queen, but it was out of range somehow. So that's, you know, it's pretty brutal, but... It's alright. Let's just go Giant Skeleton here, and he's going to go for the minions. So this is, I don't know, just a strange deck on his end. So it's like a bait deck, but the minions I feel like don't really fit that well in the deck, as well as the Archer Queen. So it doesn't really have the greatest synergy that I've seen, but if it works for him, then I guess that's kind of what matters at the end of the day. So... I don't know if he has a big spell. I guess we'll find out. Fisherman is going to connect, though, and increase our lead more. So this is looking kind of better and better for us. It doesn't seem like he has a good counter to the RG as well. Like, the Mega Knight is not a... it's just really not a great counter to the RG. Like, the Mega Knight is more of a... I don't know what I would call it, but it's really just not a... It's not a high DPS card. It's more of kind of like a splash support card. So it's not the greatest counter to tanks. You know, you really are going to need something else. I mean, the minions along with the Mega Knight can be decent, but I just think overall his cycle gets a little wacky. So it's just a fairly easy win for us, as you've been seeing so far. The E-Spirit chain was pretty satisfying to see. We'll just go for an RG here, probably in front of the Queen, the Evolve version, and at this point it should probably be over, especially because he's going to have to play something into the Giant Skelly Bomb. And if we get 2 shots here, then it's it. Yeah, we do get the 2 shots. I was going to say, if we didn't get that second shot, we would have had to either cycle 2 Fireballs or get another RG going. But we got it, so now we are 7-0 here. 5 more to go. So this is pretty nice. We're against Shock, so let's see if he's using Hog. He's got Hog on the banner, but oftentimes, guys, like, half the time I see someone have cards on their banner, they're not using it. It's either to throw people off, or they just like the card. Maybe they do use it in their main deck, but they're not actually using it. But in this case, this guy's not a fraud. He actually is using the Hog, so how about that? That Hog, though, took way too much damage to get the King activation. I actually don't even know why I thought that I was going to be able to activate the King, especially with the Archer Queen down. That would have been quite surprising, I feel like. Queen is going to help against that. You know, this is actually not a bad start at all. I kind of was disappointed how much damage the Hog got, but that was not bad at all. I really don't think that was that bad. I'm going to go for a Ghost here because he doesn't have his Knight in cycles, so it might be a little annoying for him. Yeah, he's going to go Firecracker, which is not really the response he wanted, let's put it that way. He's going to go for a nice little kite with that Hog, but now we're going to be able to get the King activated, which is fantastic. I kind of wanted to do it on the first Hog, but it's better now than not at all. And that log was really late, so this guy's kind of already making his fair share of mistakes here, which is really helping us out. We got a King Tower activated already, and a lead going into double, which I think is just a great situation for us, especially in this type of matchup, because I think this matchup just gets easier as it progresses. Like, it's really difficult for him to deal with my pushes, I feel like. Wanted to get, really make sure I didn't miss that Firecracker. That's why I kind of hesitated a little bit on that Fireball, because the last thing you want to do is miss your spell against the Evo Firecracker. That's just brutal. To be fair, in this specific situation, even if I did, it probably wouldn't have cost me the game, but it would have just been annoying nonetheless. It's just, oh my gosh. I mean, missing a spell on a Firecracker is already annoying, but then when you miss it on the Evolve Firecracker, it's just twice as annoying. We'll just leave it at that. And he gave up, so I don't blame him for giving up. I don't think he would have been able to come back in the situation, so he's smart, kind of saves us both a little bit of time, so I respect that. We'll just take the 3 crown here, be on our way, and then let's try to close things out here. We are 8-0, which I am pretty happy about, but again, these final games can sometimes be a bit of a challenge. Generally, you're going to be playing against people that have either won grand challenges or they're just pretty good. So it's I mean, it depends. I mean, sometimes I do have 12-0s, and it really does just feel like every game was really easy, but sometimes, you know, that's the thing with grand challenges, right? There's luck in them sometimes, the luck of the matchup, the luck of the opponent you're going to get, and that's why sometimes, you know, I win them 12-0, sometimes 12-2, sometimes 12-1, or I even, like, lose out of them at 10, 11, even 9 wins sometimes, so it really just depends. That's why it doesn't matter how good you are at this game, you know, you're never going to be able to win every grand challenge. So that's why, too, you know, if you lose a grand challenge, you know, especially if you made it pretty far, don't feel too bad, because it's impossible to win every grand challenge. I think even, like, the best players in this game, I probably win, like, 60-70% of the grand challenges I play, but I think even the best players in this game, like the top 5 players in this game, max probably have like a 90% grand challenge win rate, which, don't get me wrong, is ridiculous, but the point I'm saying is, doesn't matter how good you are, you're never going to win every single one. Now, this guy's got a strange deck. The fact he's got Mini P.E.K.K.A. with the recruits kind of is a bit odd. I'm going to go Ghosts, primarily because his what am I trying to say? His goblins were out of cycle as well as the Mini P.E.K.K.A. So I knew his cycle was a bit screwed up, and he ended up having to go for a Gob Giant just to defend the Ghost. So we're going to go E-Spirit to retarget. Oh my gosh, I failed the King activation. That was a little pathetic. It's nice we had this good start, but yeah, that kind of sucks. That actually really sucks. I messed up that King activation, because I think I potentially really needed that. I can still win, but it's not good that I didn't make that happen. Let's just put it that way. I actually don't know. This might be a bit of a problem here. The Elixir lead he had was pretty ridiculous, to be fair, because of that Collector. Collector's pretty annoying for me. Let's see what we can do here. I think we're probably... Okay, he just wasted goblins, so... Yeah, this guy's messing up now. Yeah, I think he had the momentum going his way for a second, but... That quickly changed, and now things are kind of back in our favor here. We got the lead, and, yeah, I think this is pretty much a wrap. Those Evo recruits, are kind of... I don't know. They kind of just went down rather quick. Those didn't feel like Evo recruits. They kind of got wiped out pretty much instantly. And that's, I guess, going to be GG. Nice win over there. That was probably, I want to say, out of all of our games, one of the most stressful ones. Because if I did even, like, just one mistake on defense, we very well could have lost. And to be fair, that Fisherman kind of was a mistake. I believe I played it a little too early. So, here we go. This guy does have a Classic Challenge badge, but not a Grand Challenge one. But... Still got something going for him. So we're going to Giant Skeleton here first play. It's a little risky, but with my Fisherman, I feel pretty safe doing that. And he's going to have a Bowler. So looking like it's probably going to be E-Giant. We're going to want to play this fairly aggressively. I think I'm actually going to want to go for an RG here. And then let's get a Fisherman going. Oh, this is actually Gob Giant. Oh, this might actually be Giant Graveyard. I keep changing my mind what it is. I thought at the start it was E-Giant, but I think it's a Giant Graveyard, because he's got the minions. This might be pretty challenging. We'll see how this goes, but I don't know how I feel about this specific matchup. I feel like it's just a little hard. But we'll see what happens. We will see, I guess, as it goes on. I'm just going to go for a Barbell here. And he is going to go for the Giant. Alright, well, there's definitely a good opportunity to go Giant Skeleton same lane, and then probably go for our Archer Queen. The thing is, the Bowler's quite good against the Archer Queen. That's part of the reason why I'm not a huge fan of this matchup. But I suppose we can actually go for our Archer Queen like this. We're going to end up... Ooh, actually, the fact he did that is kind of a good thing, because now that he did that, he doesn't have the Snowball for the Fisherman, and that's actually going to be a free King activation for us. So, how about that? That Snowball actually helped me, even though it made the Queen get less value. It allowed me to activate the King Tower, which is a game changer against Graveyard, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know. So, that's really cool. He's going to go for the Evo Archers. I'm actually going to ignore those, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for my Evo RG, and then I'm going to go for a Bar Barrel, and we're going to try to get a push going here. Bar Barrel is going to take out that Evo Archer. Kind of a misplay, though, that I didn't end up playing the Bar Barrel right on the Evo Archer, but nonetheless, that was a very good, very, very good RG push. Pretty happy with how that went. And we're going to get a Giant Skeleton going here. He is going to go for the Guardian. Let's get a Royal Ghost going. He's going to go Minions, so let's get a Queen here, and then go for the E-Spirit just to help her out a little bit, so that way the Queen is able to one-shot, and then he's going to go Giant Graveyard. Even though the King is activated, this is still going to be a little annoying, and you're kind of seeing this here. We don't have a lot of answers when they go for a Giant Graveyard push, so even with the King activated, he still ended up getting quite a lot of damage, but it's not going to be enough to take the tower, and to be fair, even if he did take the tower, it's looking like we probably would be able to 3-crown him, and actually we still probably can. Let's try to make it happen. We might as well. Nah, he's going to push back here, unless, there we go, we get the 3-crown. Alright, well, that just adds insult to injury for him, I guess, but I'll take it. As many crowns as we can get. And we're 10-0 now, so I'm feeling pretty confident at this point that we should be able to close this out. This guy does have a top 200 Royal Tournament finish, though, so this is no beginner here, let's put it that way. So we'll go ahead and cycle our Ghost in the back first play, and from there see what he wants to do. He's going to go for a Little Prince, so I got a couple options. I could have either fireballed that or go Giant Skeleton in the back, and I think Giant Skeleton in the back is a little bit of a safer option, especially because he decided to go Recruits. That could have been a little bit of a disaster if I fireballed that, because then it still would have been alive, and I still would have had to deal with the Little Prince after overcommitting on it. So, pretty happy with that decision there. So, Recruits. He's going to use the ability. I was not expecting that. So we'll just go Fisherman here. And, ooh, well, this is where things get a little interesting. Let's just, okay, go, I don't know if he's got a good answer to this. If he has, I'm going to RG here. Just because I don't know. I mean, I kind of had an E-Spirit there. Yeah, I don't know. This is a little bit of not a great situation, I have to say. We are going to get the King activated, though. Yeah, not the greatest situation, and I don't even know if that King activation was worth it, to be fair. Well, if he goes Balloon here, I'm going to do the Archer Queen, and we probably could, okay, yeah, nice. So, that's really good, actually, that he didn't, well, I don't know, actually. If he went Balloon, I could have maybe taken advantage of that, and maybe gone up for a push right after, but either way, alright, let's see what he wants to do here. Maybe a nice fireball opportunity, and the E-Spirit will chain on top of all those. I kind of want to go in here if we can. Might have been a bad idea, to be fair, to go for that Ghost, but we are going to get this Archer Queen coming in, and we are going to take the tower, so I'm pretty happy with that. And the RG ends up going on the other tower, that's really good stuff for us as well. But one problem is, with us only having the Archer Queen, and with her being a champion, I can't get 2 of her down. So, that's a little concerning, I have to say. I am a little concerned with this situation. I'm happy we're still in this game, but we got our work cut out for us. It's not going to be a easy task whatsoever. I'm going to try to go for an RG here, and wow, he went for a Fisherman. Instead of pulling it away, he did that. So we're going to pop the ability here, and let's go from there and see what happens, I guess. Little Prince, alright, let's go Giant Skeleton. I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of this situation, but it's not over yet. I'm going to get a Fireball going here. And the E-Spirit is quite nice, so that's pretty good. Alright, the balloon didn't get another shot. That would have, if it did, that pretty much would have been over at that point. But because it didn't, it's still a small chance, potentially. We'll kind of need to see what happens. He goes for Croots. Kind of want to try to keep that in the Giant Skelly Bomb, if all possible. The one Skelly Drag didn't go in, though. That's kind of a shame. I'm going to try to get a Fireball going here. Let's see, we go for the Evo RG here. Alright, I don't know what just happened, but this is a lot of damage, I have to say. I don't know why these matchups always seem to come to the wire. These matchups always come down to the wire for whatever reason. It's a little annoying. Oh my gosh, bro! Why do these these Lumberloon games always have to just give me like a heart attack every single time? I mean, it's crazy how this has always happened recently. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad I won, but man, it can't ever be like they win easily or like I win easily. It always has to be close. Like, why? Okay, well, this is potentially our last game here, assuming I win. I'm pretty sure this is a Russian name. I could be wrong. You know, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. So let's see here what deck this guy has. He's got the Inferno Drag. That's already kind of a bad sign. It also kind of sucks. I don't have my RG in cycle when he decides to cycle that Inferno Drag. I mean, to be fair though, it is only I don't know, but I'm gonna do this, I guess, and then let's get a Fireball going on top of all this. Oh man, I think we might have already lost. This kind of sucks. This is like really annoying. This matchup, though, to be fair, is really bad, but that still kind of is unfortunate that played out that way. I mean, what's really annoying is that he decided to go Inferno Drag and I didn't have my RG in cycle to just like instantly play. That kind of was what screwed me over more than anything. I think I should probably just let him win, honestly, at this point. I don't really see how I'm supposed to come back from this. Like, if he somehow finds a way to lose in this scenario, it would actually be pretty shocking. I'd actually be more... I'd probably be laughing at it more than I would be excited to win. Just because it would be quite surprising. To lose in this situation, because not only does he have the matchup going his way, but just the situation itself was quite tragic for me. It's honestly really annoying, in all honesty, this start we had. Alright, well, here we go. We're against HYZ here. Hopefully we can ideally just win this and close this out. I don't want to lose this one and then be 11-2. That's just not great at all, because then I'm going to start to, at that point, get a tiny bit stressed. But anyway, this guy's got a Knight and a Mini P.E.K.K.A. So to me, this is probably, if I already like had to guess what it is, I would probably say this is Sparky. Just because, there you go. Because typically you see those two cards together. So we're going to go RG at the bridge in the opposite lane. As long as this giant skeleton bomb ends up hitting the Sparky, we should be A-okay as far as defense goes. He is going to get that going. We're going to get this, and then... yeah, we should be alright. It's not going to take our tower. I will say, though, we should be fine in this matchup, especially double and triple. It's really hard for him to break through, because we have the E-Spirit, the Queen, the Giant Skeleton, all that, so that's pretty good as far as defense goes in this matchup. He might go... yeah, he is going to go for a mini P.E.K.K.A, as I expected. We'll just go Barbell here, and that should be completely fine. The minions are going to be actually probably the most annoying thing more than anything else in this matchup for us. Just because... okay, that's... he went... Alright, we're going to go Giant Skeleton here. And then he might decide to go for a Sparky. Let's see what he does here. Yeah, he is. Okay, wow. So he just committed a lot. I mean, it's gonna... I mean, yeah, because it didn't splash the Fisherman, which is great. And that's just going to get pulled in. So that's pretty good for me. I'm pretty happy with how that went. Let's see if he decides to go Gob Giant in front. Oh, wow. I was going to say I'd be pretty surprised if he does. But he actually did do it. So how about that? Alright, Queen didn't get splashed. That's really good. Alright, nice. That went down. Let's try to get a Fireball going here. Boom, we do get that before we went for the Guardian. So this is looking really good. He's got the arrows, which I feel like... yep, that's... I'm pretty sure that's on the tower. Yep, that is on the tower. Really good stuff over there. Alright, I don't know. This is... let's see if he decides to... I feel like he kind of has to, at this point, go Goblin Giant in the opposite lane, because I don't know if, yep, that's kind of what I was saying, so there we go. Alright, I don't really want to talk about that game at this point. I just want to win the challenge now. I'm kind of at this point, kind of done now. I was 11-0, and now I'm just... it's like, can we just hopefully get a decent matchup and play somewhat decently, and then we'll be alright. I'm surprised you went RG that aggressively to start things off. We might have ourselves a very similar matchup, especially considering seeing he's got E-Spirit as well as RG. He does have the Bowler, though, so that's going to make things a little interesting, I guess. Yeah, this is looking very good, this start. I have to say, I don't want to... because of losing the last two, I don't want to speak too soon, but this is looking... this is looking pretty dang good, okay? This is looking good. I'm finally starting to be a little excited again. Here we go. Okay, we just have to defend now for a couple minutes. Yeah, I don't exactly know how we already pretty much won this match, but I think it really had to do with him going in for that RG, and we counter pushed off of it quite nicely. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Bro, I swear, if that Evo RG tanked for the Goblins, and then he ended up getting a lot of damage, I would have been really mad. Like, that would have just been one of those things where it's just like one of those BS interactions, but luckily that didn't happen. I was about to be really mad if it did happen, though, and that's going to be probably 2 towers down now at this point. He's calling it. So here we go. Complete domination, essentially, for the 12 win. I'm still a little annoyed with these 2 losses I got, because I feel like both of them... the first one especially was pretty BS. The second one I could have won, and that one was kind of my fault. But it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is we got the 12, and I didn't end up losing 3 in a row, which would have been absolutely tragic because that the last time that's happened was so long ago, and I don't want it to happen because that's just so sad. But we got it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and be sure to give this deck a try.